Yellowstone Park ranger discovered something science can't explain. Have you ever visited Yellowstone National Park? It's a national treasure with over 10,000 hydrothermal features, but recent discoveries could change everything we know about this natural wonder. In fact, a park ranger recently discovered something that science can't explain. But that's not all. Did you know that the park sits on a dormant supervolcano that could erupt with a magnitude of 8, causing widespread devastation? And that's not the only threat to Yellowstone's ecosystem. The human population around the park has doubled, and building density has tripled since 1970, causing problems for park-crossing animals. So what's really happening in Yellowstone National Park today? Stay tuned to find out more. Native Americans lived in Yellowstone for over 10,000 years before it became a park. They lived off the land and practiced their culture. Early inhabitants conserved the land for its value. One of the largest nearly intact temperate zone ecosystems, Yellowstone has over 10,000 hydrothermal features. It's a national treasure, but scientists' recent discoveries could change everything. Before formal expeditions in 1869, Yellowstone's geothermal features and wildlife were dismissed as fables. In 1872, Congress declared Yellowstone the first national park after several explorations. Poachers, vandals, and squatters weren't stopped until 1878, when Congress appropriated funds for protection. In 1886, the U.S. Army took over and conserved. The park's borders were changed in 1929 to match natural land and water features. 3 years later, an executive order added 7,000 ungulate winter range acres. Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming's upper left corner comprise the 3,472 square mile park. As many believe, Native Americans named Yellowstone after the river's yellow sandstone, not the canyon's vivid colors. Eastern Montana's Yellowstone River sandstone, several hundred miles downstream and northeast of the park, inspired the park's name. All ages love Yellowstone National Park. Everyone can enjoy colorful hot springs, mud pots, and majestic waterfalls. The park sits on a dormant supervolcano that could erupt with a magnitude of 8. The park is awe-inspiring because magma or molten rock is only 3 miles from the surface in some areas. The planet's most geysers, hot springs, and roughly half of all hydrothermal features are found in Yellowstone, giving the region a fiery appearance. Old Faithful, the park's most famous geyser, is well known in the U.S. Yellowstone is beautiful but terrifying. Yellowstone's hot springs are stunning, but visitors shouldn't swim in them. Geysers and springs are acidic, hot, and deadly to animals. A visitor who ignored the park's warnings and put his finger in a hot spring disintegrated within 24 hours. Nature lovers should visit Yellowstone to see America's largest buffalo herd, grizzly bears, and wolves. Although it was a bad decision, what happened to his body when he fell into the water is noteworthy. He first noticed that the water felt like it was 93 degrees Celsius, or 199 degrees Fahrenheit, which was excruciatingly painful, but only for a minute because his nervous system could only perceive the pain for a minute. This temperature quickly disintegrated the visitor's epidermis. His dermal blood vessels burst, causing rapid blood loss. Instead of breaking down, some underlying skin layers dried out and blackened, and his subcutaneous fat bubbled off. A full-thickness burn occurred in under a minute. Shock damaged his nervous system irreparably. Even though extreme heat stress had shut down some of them, his organs were failing. After death, the water's acidity completely dissolved him in 2 to 3 minutes. Some hot springs are mildly alkaline, but many, like the one the visitor fell into at Norris Geyser Basin, are extremely acidic, with pH values around 2. The lower the value, the more acidic it is. The visitor's skeleton disintegrated in hours due to high acidity and temperatures. Yellowstone National Park's latest discovery is alien, an unusual species of microorganisms found in rocks in an inhospitable geothermal environment in Wyoming's Yellowstone National Park may reveal new information about ancient life on Earth and help find life on Mars. In Yellowstone's Norris Geyser Basin, Jeffrey Walker, John Spear, and Norman Pace of the University of Colorado Boulder found microorganisms in rock pores in a highly acidic environment with high metal and silicate concentrations at 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Microbial communities may fossilize, according to new research. Astrobiologists are intensifying their search for life on Mars, where geothermal environments once existed. For the first time, these fossil-preserving microbial communities may indicate past life on Mars. Another example of life surviving in hostile conditions. Did you know that Yellowstone Park's environment is shrinking despite its size, affecting the national park? President Herbert Hoover made minor changes to Yellowstone's boundaries. The Yellowstone ecosystem, 10 times the size of the park, has been losing natural habitat at an alarming rate. This causes problems for park-crossing animals. Ecologists Andrew Hansen and Linda Phillips from Montana State University found that the human population has doubled and building density has tripled since 1970. These numbers are expected to quadruple again by 2050, causing even more environmental issues. 31% of Yellowstone's environment is now developed. According to Hansen, rural homes surround the park. It's amazing to see a map of all the residences that now surround the park, and changes in these private lands affect park events. Many animals such as elk, bison, and pronghorn spend the summer in the park but migrate south in the winter, where they increasingly end up on private property where they are killed. Grizzlies and other free-ranging animals face human interference. Their population decreases due to road deaths. Roads are harmful and prevent animals from surviving by moving between ecosystems. Exotic grasses and plants from horse and animal grazing are also encroaching on Yellowstone. The park's famous trout populations are threatened by non-native species like the eastern smallmouth bass, which has been caught just outside the park. Because the eastern smallmouth bass is invasive, this is a problem. Yellowstone's over 4 million annual visitors also have an impact. Animal feed trails, resting areas, and mating are affected. When the park was founded, hunting decimated bison populations, so scientists brought them back. The park's bison population and foraging range has decreased due to extended dry years. By the 1880s, the park had only 20 bison. However, Yellowstone National Park has 5,500 bison that are thriving. Montana and many Native American tribes fund limited bison hunts near the border to control numbers. At the park's northern boundary, park rangers trap bison and either slaughter or repopulate them. With their grazing and excreting, bison help Yellowstone's ecology by promoting plant growth and nutrient-rich soils. Geysers, hot springs, and the Yellowstone supervolcano are in the park. In the last 16 million years, the supervolcano has erupted at least 10 times, altering North America's topography and climate. The Yellowstone hotspot has a history of super eruptions, the most powerful of which have a VEI of 8 or higher, making them 1,000 times more explosive than Mount St. Helens' 1980 eruption, which scored a 5. 8.72 million years ago, the Gray's Landing supereruption covered over 8,900 square miles, or 23,000 square kilometers, of southern Idaho and northern Nevada. A previously unreleased NASA report revealed unexpected information about the Yellowstone supervolcano and how to mitigate its hazards. Asteroid and comet defense was studied by NASA's Advisory Council on Planetary Defense member Brian Wilcox. Wilcox found that supervolcanoes pose a much greater threat than asteroids or comets. Large eruptions occur once every 100,000 years at Earth's 20 supervolcanoes. Such eruptions could cause prolonged volcanic winters and widespread famine. NASA scientists found that cooling a supervolcano was the best solution. 6 industrial power plants can be powered by a Yellowstone supervolcano. The magma chamber's fissures release 60 to 70% of Yellowstone's heat into the atmosphere. If you want to see Old Faithful before it shuts down, be aware of Yellowstone's high seismic activity and prepare for earthquakes. The park averages 1,500 to 2,000 earthquakes per year. The University of Utah's USS seismograph stations recorded 17,243 earthquakes in the Yellowstone region from 2010 to 2019, an average of 4.7 per day, or 1 every 5.1 hours. Half of these events occur in swarms and are not evenly distributed over time. The USS recorded 3.9 earthquakes per day, or 1 every 6.2 hours, in Utah over the past decade. Seismometers are needed to record and locate earthquakes, so not all earthquakes are found. The largest earthquake in recent years was a magnitude of 4.8 near Norris Geyser Basin in March 2014. One of Yellowstone's most popular attractions, Old Faithful, may shut down. Since 1970, Rick Hutchison, who has studied the geyser, has found that the interval between eruptions has increased from 66 minutes to 77 minutes, with a margin of 10 minutes. It's a big change from the geyser's regularity. Old Faithful Geyser's intricate heat and water combination is often unknown to visitors. Old Faithful has been dormant for centuries due to the medieval climate anomaly's water imbalance. Yellowstone's tree line rose and fires increased due to warmer and drier conditions. The area experienced decades-long droughts. Although earthquake-induced ground changes can affect geyser eruption intervals, major earthquakes are unlikely to have caused Old Faithful's dormant phase. Geologists found that the dry climate was to blame, and human-induced global warming is causing droughts that may stop the geyser from erupting. A massive magma reservoir beneath Yellowstone National Park holds enough molten rock to fill the Grand Canyon 11 times. Researchers first discovered the continuous volcanic plumbing system while exploring the supervolcano's subsurface plumbing system. The discovery is the missing link between the Yellowstone hotspot plume and the upper crustal magma chamber, according to geophysicist Peter Cervelli. A lower crustal magma reservoir connects the upper chamber to the previously known one. If an eruption occurs, the large magma chamber could intensify the explosion and spread devastation across the planet. Although scientists expect another supervolcano eruption, they cannot predict when it will occur, and there is no technology to prepare for or contain these massive eruptions. As we conclude our journey through Yellowstone National Park, we have uncovered some fascinating and awe-inspiring facts about this incredible natural wonder. From the park's unique geological features and diverse wildlife, to the threats it faces from human activity and the potential for a catastrophic eruption, Yellowstone is a place of wonder and danger. But perhaps the most striking thing about Yellowstone is the reminder it provides us of the importance of conservation and preservation. From the Native Americans who lived on this land for over 10,000 years to the early explorers who fought to protect its beauty, Yellowstone is a testament to the human spirit of stewardship and the desire to protect our planet's natural wonders for generations to come. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating content. And if you have any stories of your own, feel free to share them with us in the comments below. We always love hearing from our viewers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.